So this is Heather, and she's running for governor of Ohio. Wait a minute, let me start all over. This is Heather and her husband Darren, and they live in a log cabin on a 100-acre farm that they purchased in Appalachia, Ohio. And Heather and Darren, well, they're in love. And they begin working on trying to have a family. But something is wrong. You see, they keep having miscarriages, but no one knows why. But one day when they're at the doctor's, he gives Heather some medication to try to help her carry the baby to full term.
Try these.
And during this time, Heather thinks about how difficult it was for her to get pregnant, and she starts to think heavily about the topic of abortion, and she realizes she really just doesn't support it. And so she begins actively protesting it. During her pregnancy, Heather remains active, but all of the struggles with getting pregnant really has her thinking. She wants to give her child the best life possible, and so while out hunting one day, Heather starts thinking about entrepreneurial opportunities. And so she comes up with the idea to start her own marketing firm. Over the next couple months, life begins to move really fast for them. Their son Darian is born, and almost simultaneously, they start several businesses. ER Graphics, Ohio Hunting Lodge. They even get into the real estate business. Soon after this, they adopt a baby girl named Dahlia, and they become foster parents and welcome several other children into their home. But Heather isn't slowing down. She gets active in the community. She runs for and gets elected as a school board president and becomes a secretary for the Black Caucus of the Ohio School Board members. She starts a local Habitat for Humanity. She gets elected as a family support president. She even gets nominated by Senator Jimmy Stewart for the Ohio Civil Rights Hall of Fame. She's also awarded the Martin Luther King State Activist Award and starts the Martin Luther King Scholarship in the area. She's even appointed to the Ohio Martin Luther King Commission by the governor. She even gets a chance to work with Arnold Schwarzenegger doing campaign work for conservative campaign elections. The governor, and they become friends. A lot of time passes, and eventually their son Darian grows up and joins the army. But this emotional moment is overshadowed by tragedy. You see, in the course of 2 years, 2 of the children that Heather and Darren had been foster parents for are shot and killed by police officers. And it's around this time that some people start urging Heather to run for governor. And so, after taking some time to mourn and heal, Heather decides to run for governor because she really wants to make an impact from within and bridge the gaps between law enforcement, first responders, and Ohio residents with mental illness and drug addictions. And things are going well until one day, Heather and Darren visit the Republican Party headquarters, and they sit down with one of the senior staffers on site. And Heather shares some ideas and asks for support. But all of a sudden, the conversation takes a wrong turn. And he becomes upset and begins to yell at her, and he calls the police and has her escorted out of the building. But this doesn't slow Heather down. With no big party financial support, she and Darren pack up their camper and their dogs, and they hit the campaign trail. And she lets her constituents know that she's fighting every day to eliminate property taxes while making sure that schools are properly funded, first responders are properly trained, and voter fraud is eliminated. Oh, and she wants to release the Epstein files.
Let us see them.
As well as eliminate wasteful government spending and abuse. But one day, Heather is listening to the news, and she hears that the Ohio RNC has endorsed, well, let's just call him political opponent, a year and a half early. And this devastates Heather because she genuinely feels that she has so much to offer. And so she decides that she needs some time to clear her mind. She returns back to her farm and one of her favorite pastimes. And that's when she comes up with the idea to ensure her constituents that they have a voice and that the middle class and small business will not be forgotten. Hill for Governor 2026.
Fight like hell.